Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're enjoying all the content so far. If you are, please drop a like on the video and please subscribe to my channel. I've been doing daily content so far. Probably when the season starts, I'm going to try and do as much as I can. Possibly every couple of days a new video will come out. So if you want to be notified of those, be sure to subscribe. I've also created a mini league, so if you'd like to join that, you can do. The code is on screen. It is ZBB6SA. It will also be displayed throughout this video. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the best premium attacking assets in terms of midfielders and forwards. You can't have them all, so hopefully this video will help make your decision in terms of who you'd like in your dream team this season. So let's get started. So starting with the best premium midfielders. So we've got Saka for Arsenal. He's been priced at 5.5 million this year. A little bit less maybe than what we expected, but I think given his injury hit season last season and the fact he didn't play as many minutes, that may have played into the hands of why he's been priced at 5.5. Last season he was involved in 49 games and he scored 11 goals and provided 9 assists. So not the best stats really. 0.22 goals per appearance on average and 0.18 assists per appearance on average. We saw last season that his minutes are not secured. Madueke came in and he started some games ahead of Saka, and Saka often did come on, but over the course of the season played much less minutes than what we've seen him in the past. I think they're trying to protect him given his injuries. So this goes into the new season really, the fear that he's not necessarily going to start every game. Madueke started the Community Shield the other day and Saka came on and played 30 minutes. Also, Max Dalman can play in Saka's position, right wing. He started all of the pre-season games and apparently played very well. He scored a goal and an assist. So there's just no guarantee of Saka's minutes. We will get to see the lineup for his first game against Coventry at home. So if he's in that lineup, you should absolutely have him in your team for that game because it's a great game. But just be aware that the following game weeks you won't know the lineup, so there would be a chance that he's benched. I've already touched on the fact I think he's being protected somewhat, and this season, of course, again, they're in the Champions League, and I think he's possibly going to just be protected for the more difficult games. I would potentially consider Saka perhaps from game week 3 because they have a slightly more difficult game at home to Chelsea, and then he will start playing in the Champions League. So I think that's a good game week to perhaps consider having him in your team. So the first of the two Chelsea assets I'm going to talk about is Palmer. So he's been priced at 5 million. He didn't have the best season last season for Chelsea. He was injured a little bit and also he just didn't perform very well. He did make 34 appearances, scoring 11 goals and providing 3 assists. So he's not really an assist guy and he's more of a goal threat. So he was sort of averaging a goal every 3 games. And some of his goals, of course, comes from the penalties that he is on for Chelsea. So more of a goal threat overall. He's had the summer off because, of course, he didn't go to the World Cup, likely due to his performances last season. And he's been involved in just the one pre-season game where he didn't get involved with any attacking returns in that one. He is going to likely partner Rodgers in the number 10 position for this season. He's also best mates with Rodgers, so I think they will team up quite well behind João Pedro. And of course, João Pedro's been in on the goals both last season and in pre-season, so I think they could be a really good 3 up front this season for Chelsea. They start the season with some good fixtures, going away to Fulham. Then they have an EFL Cup game against Luton in the first game week. I don't think he's going to play that. And then their home game in game week 2 against Brighton. So I think he'll be a better option this year. But for me personally, I just prefer to watch him in action in the first few games just to see how well he's going to perform hopefully this season. So the second Chelsea asset to consider is Rodgers. Of course, he's a Chelsea player now. I couldn't find a graphic of him in a Chelsea shirt yet that I could use for a video, so apologies about that. He's been priced at 5 million, which is sort of similar perhaps to what he was last year, although he did creep up to 5.5 because he did have sort of an excellent season with Aston Villa. He practically played every game and every minute, making 55 appearances, and he got involved with 14 goals and provided 12 assists. So very much both a goal and assist threat, approximately 1 goal in 4 games and 1 assist in every 5 games. Of course, he's not playing for Aston Villa anymore, so we do have to take that into consideration. His numbers may drop off, but they might well stay the same or even improve in this Chelsea team. I think he's going to play in sort of similar positions, perhaps even more central, like I've already mentioned with Palmer, in sort of a central 10 role. Whereas I think for some of the games last season, he was sort of on the left a bit more. He's just played the 1 pre-season game. It was just an easy tap-in, to be quite honest, so that's the stats pre-season. We've talked about the fixtures. I do have a good feeling about Rodgers this season. Personally, I think I possibly prefer him over Palmer, just because I think he's just in on a few more goals and certainly is more of an assist threat than Palmer. Obviously, Palmer has the penalties, but they're not always guaranteed either. So I think Rodgers would probably be my pick over Palmer. But again, just like Palmer, I just want to see how he gets on playing for Chelsea with a new manager in a new system. The first of the 2 Liverpool premium assets I'm going to talk about in terms of midfielders is Wirtz. So he's been priced at 5 million. He didn't have a great season last season in terms of Liverpool stats, but also in terms of Dream Team points. He obviously signed for Liverpool for big money. He did make 49 appearances, but he only scored 7 goals and provided 10 assists. So returns per appearance, 0.14 goals and 0.2 assists. So an assist approximately every 5 games. So the numbers were really poor last season, but he was sort of playing in different positions in that sort of front line. So he didn't sort of establish a consistent position where he could improve. And we've heard this season with the new manager Iriola that he's going to likely just stick in that number 10 position where he plays the best. We see that with Germany. He's the number 10 and he performs really well. He has come up with 2 pre-season goals already in that position, so that's also very promising. Liverpool start the season with okay fixtures. They do go away to Newcastle in the first game week, so it's not the best, but also not too bad. And then they have a good game week 2 and 3 fixtures, home to Forest, which I think looks good on paper, but Forest look really good this season in terms of defence. They've made some great recruits in the centre-back positions, and I think they're going to be quite defensively solid, playing in a back 3 with wing-backs. So I think the attacking potential could be a little bit more limited than you first think for that Forest game. I'm particularly thinking of considering having Wirtz in my team from game week 3 when they go away to Ipswich. I don't think Ipswich will be too defensive by playing a home game, to be honest, and he's guaranteed to start that Champions League game. So hoping that he doesn't rise in price too much for game week 3, but that's where I'm personally considering getting second Liverpool asset in the premium category is Szoboszlai. He had a fantastic season last season for Liverpool, but also in terms of Dream Team points, he was the 2nd highest scorer for total points, and he was also the 4th highest for bonus points in the game. He was averaging 1 bonus point per appearance as well, so great stats. He made 53 appearances and he scored 13 goals and provided 12 assists, approximately 1 goal every 4 games and 1 assist every 5 games. He's had the summer off. He didn't go to the World Cup with Hungary. He's been involved in their pre-season. He's already come up with a goal and 2 assists, so he's still hot on the attacking front. He's played in different positions in pre-season. I do think he's going to be in sort of a midfield 2 this season. But we've seen from last season, it doesn't really matter where he is positioned. He's still coming up with attacking returns, even in the right back position, which he covered for part of the season. Last season, he was coming up with goals. And one of the reasons for that is that he's their sort of free kick specialist, and he's on some corners, and he quite possibly may take penalties this season for Liverpool. We're not 100% sure whether it will be him or Isak, but on the whole, yeah, a fantastic asset, goals and assists and bonus points. I think all things considered, this is why he's been priced quite high this season at 6 million. I'm personally just going to wait to see where he's going to establish himself in this team going forward. I'd like to just watch him in a few games before I invest such a large amount of money into him, but he is a great asset. So I'm going to talk about 3 Manchester City midfielders, and I start with the best in my opinion in terms of premium assets in Semenyo. So he started at Bournemouth last season, and then he'd moved on to Manchester City, and he carried his form throughout the whole of the season. He made 48 appearances and he scored 21 goals and provided 6 assists. So he was a really big goal threat last season, almost a goal every 2 games or so. He was fantastic. He is fantastic. He didn't really get many assists last season, but in pre-season, he's already got 5 assists, and that's 1 less than what he got in total for last season. I do think that's very telling. Obviously, Man City have got a new manager in, and when I watched the Community Shield game, I did think Semenyo was quite wide on the touchline, so possibly he's going to be playing a little bit more wide than he was last season, so perhaps his number of assists are actually going to go up, and his goal threat might go down. But given the amount of assists he's got already in a limited number of games, I still think he's going to rack up the points quite easily. But yeah, that would just be my only maybe slight concern, is his positioning. What you're going to get with him though is sort of 90 minutes guaranteed pretty much. Semenyo looks like he's going out of the club because he wasn't even in the squad for the Community Shield. I'm not sure who else can play on that right hand side who's too familiar with doing that. You know, Cherki could possibly cover, or that's it really. So I think he's a guaranteed starter, and he's going to play many minutes. Man City have a great first few fixtures to start the season again as well. A home game against Bournemouth, and then Crystal Palace away, and then Coventry at home. So I think he's a fantastic option. It would just be the consideration about his positioning that would make me think twice about getting him in straight away. He's not in my team currently, but definitely a target. The second Manchester City premium midfielder I'm going to talk about is Doku. He's been priced at 5 million this season after a great season for Man City last season and a great season in Sun Dream Team, where he acquired the most number of bonus points out of any other player. He also contributed 8 goals and 14 assists in 47 appearances, so he was sort of averaging an assist almost once every 3 games or so. And yeah, essentially he's just in on the goals, assists and bonus points, so he is a great option, but we do need to be aware that he was subbed off at half-time in the Community Shield, and it appeared that he had ice wrapped to his ankle, or his calf rather. So we just need to keep an eye on the news whether he may be injured for the start of the season. I've touched on the great first fixtures for Man City, and he is a guaranteed starter in my opinion. The only other player on that left side available is Grealish, unless he's loaned off somewhere else before the window closes, and Semenyo wasn't in the squad for the Community Shield, so I think he's off as well. Semenyo can play that side as well, but who then is going to take his place? So I think his minutes are secure and he's a great option, but only consider him if we're sure that he is fit for the final Man City player I'm going to talk about, and the final player in terms of the attacking midfielders priced at premium price is Cherki. He's been priced at 5 million. He had a good season for Manchester City last season. He made 52 appearances, scoring 10 goals and providing 15 assists. He did have a fair few of bonus points as well. He was sort of averaging a goal every 5 games and an assist every 3 to 4 on average. He wasn't involved in pre-season because he was away with France at the World Cup, where he didn't play apart from coming off the bench a few times for sub appearances and starting in their third place playoff. And I have to say, I thought he was really poor in the World Cup, and he came on for Foden in the Community Shield. Again, I thought he was really poor, very rusty, loose passes, etc. I don't think he's favoured by Maresca. I think Foden will be starting over him. So in my opinion, he's an absolute avoid at the moment. But if he does sort of become in favour, you know what you're going to get with him. Plenty of attacking returns. So he could be an option. But I've put all the premium midfielder assets in a table just for comparison. The order of which I've done it is really in terms of I've grouped them in terms of who they play for. So Saka's sort of an anomaly, Rodgers and Palmer for Chelsea, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Liverpool, and then the 3 Manchester City players. I just thought that was a bit better in terms of comparison. So they're all priced between 5 million and 6 million, and they all have great first fixtures to start the season. I've only displayed the first game week on this table. They all had a fair few minutes last season, Palmer not so much, and the top player for goals per appearance last season was Semenyo, 0.43 goals per appearance, so he was the player with the most amount of goals per appearance, and most amount of assists per appearance was Cherki and Doku. Cherki, I've said, is an avoid for this season because I'm not sure his minutes is guaranteed, and Doku, we're not sure whether he's injured, so I'd avoid both of those until we get a bit more news about their playing time. So in pre-season, a couple of them have not been involved due to their presence in the World Cup, Saka, Cherki and Doku. The other guys have got involved with a few goals and assists. I mean, Semenyo, there's that 5 assists in pre-season. No goals though, despite being the top goal scorer out of these guys last season. I think the Liverpool assets are looking good. They've had a full pre-season pretty much. Szoboszlai didn't go to the World Cup. Wirtz left the World Cup very early, so they've both come up with a few goals and assists. And then at the bottom, I've just put that other routes to points. You know, Saka could be on some penalties, but could share them with Gyokores, Havertz, even give them to Odegaard. So there's no guarantee he's going to be on them, and you know his minutes are going to be limited. He'd be on half the corners as well and get the occasional bonus point for dribbles, fouls won, etc. Rodgers, bonus points for dribbles, fouls won. Palmer's going to have your penalties. Wirtz is going to have a share of corners along with Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is a bonus point machine for things like accurate crosses, goals outside the box, etc. Cherki is renowned for his dribbling ability for sure. Doku, likewise, dribbles and certainly a target for fouls won. And then Semenyo is not too hot on the bonus point front. So overall, Semenyo is a great option given his stats last season, but just be aware that possibly his number of goals will decrease this season and he may just provide more assists. Other players I like are potentially Rodgers and also Wirtz. So now I'm going to discuss the best premium forwards in the game this season. So we start with Thiago, for Brentford, who I must admit I think has been underpriced a lot. Only 4.5 million given his stats last season: 25 goals in 40 appearances, approximately 0.62 goals per appearance. Quite remarkable. I can only think he's been priced low is because Brentford are not in Europe, but he's a great option to start the season. until the Europe starts, where you could potentially transfer him out. A home game against Tottenham, which I don't think is too bad. First game of the season for Brentford at home, so he could definitely get some returns in that. He's on penalties as well. Then there is a EFL Cup game in the same game week away at Birmingham. He's not renowned to start in those games, so I wouldn't consider him in the hope he's going to play that game. And then the second fixture is away to Leeds, so a good fixture as well. And then the third fixture is a home game against Sunderland. So I definitely see the potential for Thiago for the first 3 game weeks until the Europe starts. At this price, I think it's a brilliant price. In pre-season, he scored 2 goals as well. Overall, a fantastic player for you to consider for the start. Next is Watkins for Aston Villa. He's been priced maybe a little bit high in my opinion, 5 million, but probably the fact that Aston Villa in Europe has contributed towards him being priced at 5. He had an okay season last season. The stats are okay, 21 goals and 5 assists in 55 appearances, but he was a little bit hit and miss to the eye test really. He'd go through phases of being really good and having great returns, and then he would have a poor few games, etc. So in terms of the upcoming season, he's had no pre-season. He went away with England to the World Cup. He didn't get barely any game time, and if he's not been involved in pre-season, I'm not really sure about his fitness levels. We do have Tammy Abraham as well if he's fit to play the centre forward role. So I would absolutely avoid Watkins to start the season, just because we don't know if he's going to start, and they do have an away game at Brighton for the first game of the season, and then it's Arsenal at home. So it's a definite avoid for now. Perhaps he's worth considering if he's beginning to play lots of minutes, ready for that game week 3 fixture away at Hull, and then it's the Champions League starting in the same game week. So the first of the 2 striker options for Arsenal I'm going to talk about is Havertz. So he's been priced at 4.5 million. He can of course play a number 10 role as well. He was injured for part of the season last season, so he only played 23 games in total, and he scored 7 goals and provided 5 assists. Returns were okay, 0.3 goals per game on average and an assist every 5 games on average. He's been involved in pre-season. He's scored 2 goals, and also he scored the 1 goal in the Community Shield as well. I do think he's favoured by Arteta over Gyokores, but there's just not that guarantee at all. He can take penalties as well. In terms of the fixtures, it's just a good first fixture really for Arsenal to start the season, although we know that they are more than capable of beating every team in the league. But that first fixture at home, on the back of winning the title against newly promoted Coventry, is obviously a fantastic fixture. We will on this occasion see whether he's starting, because we will see the lineups, but for the subsequent game weeks we won't see the lineups. So you will take a little bit of a risk with Havertz in the subsequent game weeks, because he could just likely share minutes with Gyokores and share starts. So that's just what you need to be aware of. So the second centre forward that Arsenal could choose is Gyokores. He started and played most minutes last season just because Havertz was injured for part of it. He made 55 appearances, scoring 21 goals and providing 3 assists. So he is a goal threat, 0.38 goals per game on average. He's also on the penalties. In pre-season, he did go to the World Cup, but he's come and played a game or so and scored a goal as well. He didn't start the Community Shield. I do think Havertz is probably favoured by Arteta, but there's absolutely always the guarantee that Gyokores can start a game. So like Havertz, there's just no guarantee of the starts and no guarantee of the minutes. He's been priced $500,000 more than Havertz as well, so that's definitely a consideration. We've spoken about the fixtures. If he is the starting centre forward for this Coventry game, then you should absolutely have him in your team. You will of course see the lineups to see whether he does start that game against his former club. Ultimate premium forward I'm going to talk about is Isak for Liverpool. He's been priced at a whopping £6 million in Dream Team this season, which I do think is very overpriced considering his lack of appearances last season due to injury. 22 appearances and his lack of goals, 4 goals and 1 assist in that time, so only 0.18 goals per appearance on average. So I'm not quite sure why he's been priced at this price. Possibly because Ekatike is out, that they think he's going to be guaranteed to always start in that number 9 position, but I don't think he's going to play every game. He is very injury prone and they will need to protect him, especially for the more difficult fixtures like the Champions League. He has featured in pre-season after returning from the World Cup with Sweden. He has scored a goal and provided an assist. He is a goal threat when he's fit, but I just think the price is just too much at the moment. We've talked about the Liverpool fixtures as well, but I do want to highlight that Isak goes back to his former club in the first game week, and I think there's a very good chance that he scores a goal at his former club. We've seen it many times before where players have gone back to the club that they've left and they've got an attacking return. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Isak scored a goal in that first game week. So yeah, overall an avoid, but if you have him for that first game, I will predict that he will score. And lastly is Pedro for Chelsea. He's been priced at 5 million this year, much higher than he was priced last year, where he had a great season, scoring 20 goals and providing 9 assists and 50 appearances. He's also had an amazing pre-season after missing out on the World Cup for reasons we all don't really understand. 7 goals and 2 assists in pre-season. Absolutely secured that number 9 position for Chelsea. He's in my team. He's got a first fixtures are great. Fulham away, Luton at home if he plays, and Brighton at home. And then I think maybe that would be time to perhaps consider moving him on for Arsenal, but they do have Hull after that game. So he's a great asset, great stats. I think he's priced quite reasonable. If we compare him to Isak being priced at 6 million, I think Pedro has been priced very cheap in comparison. So yeah, absolutely a great asset. Like I did for the premium midfielders, I've done the same for the premium forwards. I've displayed all of the players that I've talked about in a table. This time I have displayed them in terms of price ascending. Again, the fixtures are all good for them to start the season. Thiago, in my opinion, is one of the better assets to start the season, given his price point. Only 4.5 million, great first few fixtures, 25 goals last season, 2 goals in pre-season already. I think he is a brilliant option to go for in the forward line for your team. He's also on penalties as well. So yeah, fantastic option at a very, very reasonable price. Next, you've got Havertz and Gyokores, the 2 Arsenal options for the centre forward position. No guarantee who's going to start after that Coventry fixture, so that's why you just need to consider whether you really want them in your team. Gyokores is also more expensive than Havertz, but I do think Havertz is favoured slightly by Arteta. But of course, they play the game very differently, to be honest. Goals per game, 0.3 goals on average per appearance for Havertz, 0.38 goals per game on average for Gyokores. And Havertz is also good for providing assists as well, because he can float between either that centre forward position or the number 10. So likely when he's in that number 10, he provides more of an assist threat as well. So that's what you get with Havertz as well. Penalties, Havertz could take them, Gyokores could take them, Saka could take them, Odegaard could take them. It's a consideration that they may be involved in those penalties. Pedro is one of my favourite options given his stats last season and his stats in pre-season. Don't really need to say much more. He's definitely a buy in my opinion at a very reasonable price. Watkins is an avoid at the moment. I'm a bit unsure about his minutes going forward, and his fixtures are not great to start the season. He's not on penalties either, so I think he's a bit too highly priced when you compare him to Pedro, for example. And likewise, Isak, I think, is an avoid for now. Injury hit player, not played many games last season, not scored too many goals. He's possibly on penalties, but we can't be sure of that. Overall, I just think he's an avoid for now. So there you have it. A video discussing the best premium midfielders and forwards for the upcoming Dream Team season. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please let me know your thoughts. Who is in your team? Who may be out your team now after this video? Pop them in the comments below. Anyone I've missed also, pop them in the comments.